episode of We Are 757, the show. We got the homie Teekie in the building. How you doing?
Pause.
What's up? This is a new episode of We Are 757, the show. We got the homegirl Tiora in the building.
Hold on, give on. Wait. When you say what's up, do I look at the camera?
If you want to. This is a new episode of We Are 757, the show. We got the homegirl Tiora in the building. How you doing?
Great.
How's Atlanta been treating you?
Great.
That's it? Just great?
Yeah, very great.
Well, for a backstory, I met Tiora when I first moved out here.
Hold up, I told you not to talk about that.
She used to have a big puff balls.
No, why are you talking about that?
But when I first met her, she was on the hoop with the homies, and she was balling. So that's a little bit how I met her. And then I seen her play in middle school at Brandon, and she was just cooking everybody. And so, what made you start playing basketball?
I'm not even sure. I just liked it a lot.
How did you know you good? Like, what made your mom put you on your first basketball team?
I have no idea. I just was good. Like, I could play.
What was your first basketball team that you was on?
The Kings in Woodstock. I played with the Kings in Woodstock.
Was y'all good?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
But we had to be in some way, somehow.
Was it a all girls team or was it boys team?
All boys team.
And you was the only girl?
I still got a picture.
So when you got to Brandon, when you like you was the woman there, like how was that?
Basketball was just, I don't know, just natural. So
Was you like a tomboy growing up?
Yeah, very much so.
So you started playing at Level Green Court. You get to middle school. How was that experience? Did you make the team as a 6th grader in middle school?
Yeah, of course. I was on varsity.
Did you start?
No, but I did my 7th grade year.
Was there any other good people on your team?
I can't remember. Letitia Dean. You remember her?
I don't know what that is.
I do. She was good.
She was a B.
She was ahead of me. She was a guard.
Where did she end up going?
I think Salem High School.
Oh, I think I know you're talking about.
She had 3 brothers.
I know Dean. I remember that name.
Yeah, Letitia Dean. I'm trying to think of what else. The girl Latoya was on my team. I don't know about 6th grade, but it was just like the only person I can really remember is Letitia. But then my 8th grade year, we made it to the championship. One city made it to the championship. Got beat by Bayside in 0.2 seconds.
What happened? 0.2 seconds. How you lose?
We was up by 1, and then the other team took the ball out and rushed it up and threw that bitch.
From where?
And threw it up
from half court.
Yeah.
And it went in.
What's the girl that did it? I remember, but I can't remember her name.
Probably the girl that tore her ACL when she got to high school. She was nice. It was a girl that was
light skin,
nice.
short. I forgot her name. But yeah, I remember that. That was heartbreaking, but it was like, oh well.
Oh well.
It's life.
I remember going to your game and seeing Kiki. She was on the bench and had her warm up on her knees, just on the bench like this.
Why are you so weak?
Because that was funny. And then I remember the game. I think it was the championship game, and you was playing against Raven. I think her name was.
Oh yeah, Raven.
Was that like your rival at the time?
No. Why does everybody think that? Like,
because like y'all was going at it so hard.
It's just basketball.
It was so hard.
She played for Kensfield. She was really good.
Oh okay, it was kind of.
It was crazy. I seen her a couple of years back at the club in DC. And I was like, hey, yeah.
Did she still got red hair?
Yeah, she cool.
So you was like the woman, like the beast at Brandon Middle School. What made you not want to go to a beach district school?
I think because I was getting in a lot of like trouble in school.
Oh, you was? I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. We learned something on the podcast. Yeah, I was.
Like what though? What kind of trouble you was getting in? Like just not going to class?
It's not for my viewers. Just
Right.
no, like I was getting in like normal middle school stuff, like maybe fights, talking back, getting
fights. You ain't getting no dang fights.
Okay, not for my viewers. But
how were your grades in middle school? Were they good?
They didn't really get too good until I got like to the 8th grade, 7th to 8th grade. I think it was more so like at that age it was just like whatever, because I was playing basketball, so like I knew that at the time I can get past with a lot of stuff. So like school was important, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Basketball was early. Basketball was life then.
Yeah.
I was just saying, how were your grades in school?
Oh, they didn't get better until 8th grade. And then I was straightening up a little bit more by the time that came.
So why didn't you want to go to Tallwood? All your friends from College Park, Brandon, went to Tallwood.
I don't know. I think that summer I had like a mentor named Keno Glover. And my mom was like, I'm not having this. I'm not having what you get in trouble in. You need to figure something out. And then I was like, what? So he requested me to go to, he was like, I think you should go to Oak Hill, their camp. I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I remember actually that summer going to, we had like a couple of schools. I was going to do it was a school in Maryland, a top school in Maryland. It was Oak Hill, and it was one other school. He was familiar with those schools because he was well connected with basketball, and also he was in that area. So I was just like, whatever, I'll go to the Oak Hill camp. So I ended up signing up for the all-boys camp that summer, of my 8th grade summer. And then, I mean, I can remember to this day, I had like a blue wife beater and some black shorts, and it was so hot when I got there. I had like cornrows, and I was like super tomboyish. And then I went there I played at the camp. I did really well, and one of my highlights was like crossing this little kid up. Well, at the time I was a little kid too, but crossing this little kid up, and he's like, he falls, and so that was just a big deal because I was like a girl and a guy, all guys camp. But after that, the girls coach, it was his first year at the school, and then he had seen me throughout the camp, and so he had asked me like, would I be interested in coming to the school to do like Coach Rogers, Mike Rogers, would you be interested in coming to the school to play basketball and actually attend the school? And my mom and my mentor was already interested, so I'm like, yeah, cool. All we do is play basketball, eat, sleep. I'm good, not knowing like the real lifestyle of Oak Hill. So I'm thinking like, okay, cool. And my mom was like, and when it was all over, they were like, mad you. In my mind, I'm like, hell no, I don't want to come here. But then, I was like, yeah, but then no, because it was so far from home. And then my mom was like, Tiora, are you sure? We was in the car. She was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to go to this school? And I was like, yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. Right? I'm 13. I was only 13 years old. So I was like, I don't know. But I told her, yeah. So the coach just kind of toured me around the school. And then that's when I met Coach Steve Smith. And he was really nice. And of course he had to kind of like see me play too, to, you know, I guess, I don't know, just give his opinion. Was that
the first time they had a girls team, or they had a girls team?
So they had a girls team before I got there, but when I got there, they were starting the program all over because they wanted it to be like a national rank type team as well as with the boys. Yeah. So from there, he just was recruiting. I don't want to say recruiting because everybody thinks that it was like a fully recruited high school, and it's not even that. But a lot of girls who were interested in coming to the school, it's a private school, private boarding Christian school, was interested in coming to the school, and then I just ended up going there the next year for 9th grade. And then I didn't even think about Tallwood. I mean, I did, but I didn't, because like that was just not an option. I didn't want to stay here in the 7-5.
Was Tallwood girls bad? Like, have you ever been to a Tallwood basketball game before that?
I didn't even know who was on the team. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, I didn't know.
So when you got to Oak Hill, like, what was your first impression of the school?
Oh my God. I'm ready to go home.
Because you go from being in your mom's house to like living at a high school. That's different. That's different than like just a camp and you staying in.
And I was 13, so it was more so like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I felt like something was leading me in that direction now to think about it, because I was young, so I didn't know what I was doing, but something was leading me into that direction where it was just mostly like, do it. something was pushing me. I don't know if it was God. I don't know. But now to think about it, I was like, yo, why did I go to that school? Like, what made me just be like, had the balls just to be like, yo, I'm gonna go to that school. Didn't even know the back history until I got there. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't know Carmelo went there, Josh Smith went there, Rajon Rondo went there a year before me, and I got there in 2004, and I was there till 2008.
So you stay all 4 years? Did all other girls stay all 4 years?
They actually were transferring from public schools, and they stayed there a year or two.
So they was already in high school, a lot of them.
Yeah. So I was like the baby on the team, the freshman. But it was a hard adjustment my first year and a half too. Like, I've had a lot of memories, met a lot of great people, met a lot of great players, people that I still stay in contact with now, that are doing very well. But I don't know. That school was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I know a lot of the boys that went there are like the boys team is like a powerhouse. Like now they got Cam, they got Cole Anthony. You know Cam Thomas, he from here.
Okay, yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah, he went to Oscar Smith his freshman year and
That's
was
great.
like averaging like 30 plus points and left. He didn't play his sophomore year in high school at all.
That's
and
crazy.
Then he went up there, and now he like.
I mean, it takes a different type of player to be able to be at that school, because a player on and off the court, because you don't have a life like you do it like regular. Like,
so are y'all like allowed to have like any type of party there?
No, and I don't even know. Like, I never went to like a real prom. Yeah, I never had a real prom.
They didn't have like nothing there.
They did, but it
like
wasn't
a dance or something.
Yeah, they did, but it was just like super strict. At my time, it was strict. Now the people there, they're allowed to have like phones and braids. We couldn't have none of that. Like, we boys had to have a certain haircut that was like at a certain length. No cornrows. I mean, I came there one time with different color in my hair. They made me take it out. They was not playing no games. Like, it was strict.
So how were the other kids there?
The other kids there were, I mean, they were regular high school students. They just, their parents had pretty wealthy, you know, so.
Did they care about basketball and all of that?
No, hated it. And it sucks because they didn't hate it. They didn't hate it. It was more so like, hey, it's something to do for us to go to the games, you know, to support the teams. I'm not going to say they hated it at all. It was just a joke. But it was just something for us to do, because, like, it was mandatory for you to, like, go to the Gold Teams games whenever they had games to support. They had a varsity team. They had a gold team. They had a varsity team. They had a JV team, and they had a girls team.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So, who'd you get the opportunity to meet while you was at Oak Hill?
My freshman year, who was it? Jamont Gordon, Kevin Durant, Mike Beasley, Ty Lawson. My second year, and even Eric Devendorf, Casey Rivers. You just talking about all the guys in general?
Sure.
Did I say Nolan Smith?
No.
Nolan Smith, Brandon Jennings, P-Sean Howard. Who else? I'm trying to think.
Any girls from there went to the NBA?
No.
Is that why they stopped having a girls team?
No, it was other reasons. It was other reasons. No, it was other reasons. But that wasn't the reason.
So how much points did you score? I always laugh at your ball every time I see it.
What was it, 9?
998 points. You couldn't get two. You couldn't get another bucket.
I guess not.
They couldn't give you the 2 points?
Ask Coach Rogers. He wrote the list.
But you like...
Is it?
But aren't you like the highest scoring girl that ever played there?
Yeah, I am. That's what I heard.
And then they just dismantled the whole team. So you're going to have that stat forever.
I guess so.
So what made you choose Norfolk State after there? Or were you getting recruited by schools when you went there?
I'm not even going to lie. Like, I was. But my SAT scores were shitty. ACT scores were shitty. I wasn't a good tester at all. So, and I wanted to come home. So I was just like, why not go to Norfolk State? I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing basketball, going home. Like, at that time, I played so much basketball at Oak Hill, and I was away from home for so long. It was just more so like, why not go home to Norfolk State, try it out, you know, see what it is. But it didn't work out after 2 years. So when my coach left, I left, went to Virginia State, played there.
Why Virginia State? Did you know anybody that went there? Anybody told you about it?
Marquilla Evans. Her nickname is Smoke. She played with me at Norfolk State, and she was going. So I was like, yo, I'll just go with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care at this point. Because I think after my second year playing basketball at Norfolk State, I was just like, I don't know if I want to play anymore. More so like it was just more on the business side that opened my eyes to basketball, the world of basketball, that I just was like...
Like what?
I don't know, just being a student athlete. Like, at first it's cool, you know, you going to school for free, but I feel like it's more so like, hey, sign these papers because you're going to be my slave for the next 4 years or the next 2 years. I know you're not going to read this contract, but hey, if your parents read it, it's up to them. But hey, you know, you're going to be my slave for the next... And I may care about you. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has their own experience when it comes to, you know, athletics or the sports world in general. But mine was great. You know what I'm saying? It just was like, I look at it as like a lesson learned. I took so much from basketball to the point it's just like, okay, my time is up and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I didn't succeed in different things in basketball. It wasn't none of that. It was just like, I think I'm about done. But hey, how I feel the sports world use athletes is how I can use them. So, okay, you want me to come to practice every day, you want me to do this, but I'm going to get my free education. And eventually one day I'm going to start my business and I'm going to have my degree for free. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we can use each other. Yeah. But that's just how I feel, my opinion.
What was the moment when you was like, man, I don't want to play basketball no more?
Oh, my first year at Virginia State, I said, I cannot wait for this to be over. I used to love going to class. Like, it just wasn't for me. Like, it was cool, you know. It just was a lot behind the scenes that I had to deal with that I was just like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just found my passion in something else. And then I was just like, this is what I want to do. But I'm going to go to practice. And this is super exclusive because I never ever tell nobody this. But I'm going to go to practice and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, you know, because whatever, it's paying for my schooling and I don't have to worry about nothing. But after that, it's over. Last day of the CIAA game, we lost. Okay. Like, okay. I don't care.
What's your most memorable moment at Norfolk State? Playing.
Oh, I love Norfolk State.
So you love that school?
I don't want to talk about our team in general, like because we didn't do so well. But the girls on that team was amazing. I still talk to them as of this day. We're still like sisters. They opened my eyes up to a lot of different things in life because I was coming from like a Christian boarding school to like a HBCU that is just open to everything that I wasn't used to in a Christian boarding school, if that makes sense. So you was exposed to like, you know, just everything. So I'm just like, they kind of broke me into like the college world, and like I met like my best friend at Norfolk State. He was still my best friend today. Just a lot of like genuine women, and we still keep in contact as of today. Loved it. Party life was great. Social life was great.
Is that when you started graphic design, or did you?
I was in fine arts. I did fine arts. I knew I wanted to do graphic design. I started graphic design actually in Oak Hill on my coach's daughter's computer. She had Photoshop, and I didn't even have a computer. And then she was just like, oh, look at this picture I made. I edited it. And I was just like, what is that? And then I just got to like bothering it. And I just tend to I ended up getting a computer, putting Photoshop up there, and just playing around with it. And then I was kind of consistent with it. I was horrible, but it was a start. That was back in 2005 or 6.
So when you get to Virginia State, is that when you took
really serious
graphic design?
I was over basketball. Over it. I was like, oh, I know what I want to do. And then my professors were amazing at Virginia State. I feel like my journey was for a reason. Like, my calling wasn't basketball. It was just a start. So I think graphic design was more so my calling because like basketball was cool, but it was just like, just, I don't know. I feel like it led me into the right direction into doing what I'm doing today. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still involved in the sports world, but I'm more so, this is my passion, is what I like to do, is like be a graphic designer.
So do you think you would, but I feel like you don't do graphic design for like Dollar Tree. Is it? But you just like graphic design for sports.
That's what I like to do. I'm learning it.
That's the same way with me. Like when I do video, I'll be like, bro, I don't want to shoot your wedding.
Yeah.
I want to shoot basketball or sports or something that got to do with basketball.
Yeah. It's no point. It's like when you're allowed to pick what you want to do and who you want to work with and how you want to do it, and they trust you with your vision or their vision, whatever. It's just like, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, you can try to go for somebody else, but I don't just shoot any and everything. Like, I'm gonna shoot, like, just like I knew maybe a year ago, I was like, I'm not even gonna start. I don't even want to like design for these just random projects and random different areas and markets.
Pick and choose. When you feel like you good, and I don't think I'm like super good, but I'm gonna pick and choose what I want to do, and that's how you are as well.
Yeah.
So after VSU, you worked there a little bit, right? How was that?
It was cool. It was more so like I was an athlete working in the athletic department, basically doing like creative directing work, but I was part-time, and so I would do design for all of the sports teams, attend all the photo shoots, direct all of that, be at the games, all the games, mostly posters, flyers, everything, right?
Did you have all creative
control? Yeah. Okay. And then it was pretty cool because it was just an experience of really having my first job. Not really first job. I don't even want to talk about my first job. But really having my first real like sports job and what I want to do. It was like amazing. Like, it was cool. The athletic director, Peggy Davis, she gave me opportunity to actually, be able to work there, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah.
So after that, you went to another school.
Yeah, because I didn't feel like I was like good. Like, it was so weird. People were like, "Oh, this is so good." I'm like, "Cause y'all are not used to having some type of design."
Yeah.
But I felt like this was like horrible. So I still like, people thought it was good, but I thought it was like whatever. And I wasn't trying to
satisfied.
It was cool, but I felt like, yo, this can't be just it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to see how I would compete with other designers in the world. So it's crazy because maybe in 2000 and I graduated in 13, maybe 12 or maybe 12, I was just like about to graduate, trying to figure out, damn, what I'm gonna do after this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out.
You ain't want to come back to College Park?
Definitely not. I was not coming back to the 7.5. I needed to keep pushing. What was it? Okay, so I had looked at a MICA book. The MICA, Maryland Institute College of Art, is a graphic design, one of the top graphic design schools in the world, like top 3. So I had seen their books and like the design. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Boom. Mind you, that was a year and a half too, right, into my being at Virginia State. Then fast forward, I'm working at Virginia State, and I just remember that school. So I was like, I'm going to try to apply. I was like, shit, I don't know if I'm going to get in, but because, everybody at that school, they was good, like, So I applied. I rushed my application kind of, like, I applied in my house that I was staying in at Perry Street or whatever in Petersburg, and ended up getting an interview. So I was like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was excited because this is one of the schools I really wanted to go to. Mainly because I wanted to focus on my, like, career. Like, and I wanted to compete with other designers that were, like...
So it's just all types of different design there? Like, graphic design, clothes, like...
Okay, so they would have their illustrators, they would have their designers, they would have their videographers. Everybody was, like, top, and they were good. Like, when I tell you, you couldn't even take a breath and like take a break. That's how I felt. Like, it was just too competitive. So I ended up getting into the school, and it's crazy because I had my interview with Ellen Lumpton. She's one of the top designers in the world too, and she's really good. And she was just like, I'm never gonna forget. She was just like, you know, I'm kind of different from the students only because I have a sports background. I played sports, and now I'm, you know, trying for being a graphic designer in the grad school, whatever the case may be. So I ended up, long story short, getting far in the interview, getting into the post-baccalaureate program, which I felt was a better fit for me than actually trying to do like a, you know, a grad school, if that makes sense. It's still grad school, but like my master's, I didn't get my master's, I got my post-baccalaureate degree. And it just, I wouldn't trade that experience for nothing. Like my skills went from 2 to 20 in a year. So
you was only there for a year?
12 hours, at least about 10 hours a day, 6 days a week in the lab. That was just my social life and my real life for like a year, 9 months straight.
How was living out there?
I was in Baltimore. That was pretty intense. I was very like broke. I was very broke. Like I didn't have no money. I didn't save up no money.
So you didn't work and.
So this story is so funny now, but before it was just like so stressful. It was stressful, but it wasn't, because I was doing what I love every day. You know what I'm saying? But I actually tried to go to this this little bodega shop. I worked at across from my apartment place, and yeah, I worked about 3 hours and I quit.
What happened?
I quit. Like I just knew it wasn't for. If I don't like it, if I don't find passion in it, I'm done. I quit lunchtime.
At lunchtime.
Yeah, I knew what I was gonna do at 8:30. As soon as I walked in there, I signed my papers. First day at work, boom. Get to 12 o'clock. I said, "What time is lunch again?" They said 12. I said, "Okay." I left. Never came back.
So you know it's not for you.
But you know what? I'm kind of rushing things. So this is what happened. When I did apply to the school, I told the lady also in my interview, it was more so like, hey, this is what my plan and my goals are. This is what I want to do. Even if I get into this school, I also want to take a shot at working at Under Armour. I did tell them that. And then the lady was like, okay, you know, her name was Sandy Maxa. She was like, okay, you know, we do have connections with Under Armour. So I was like, okay, good. That's what I want to do. Like, that was just one of my dream jobs, and to see how I would fit in at a top company also while going out there.
And that's when Under Armour just became big too, right?
I think it was 2015. Was it? No. It was 2000 and... Wait.
It was around
15.
that time. Yeah.
15. So then she calls me a couple of weeks later, like, Tiora, Under Armour's having an interview. They want to interview some Micah students. So she was like, are you been willing to come up here or try to interview, send us some work? Yeah, I'm coming. So I went up there, interviewed. It was a whole nother like experience being in that, because I was nervous. So everybody was just very cool, very good people, very chill. It wasn't like your normal like, you know, suit and tie. No, everybody was super chill in an interview. And you just basically showing your work, your portfolio at the time. And they basically, I ended up getting the job, and that was just basically a freelance designer for them. And I was working there, office area, designing. I thought it was just pretty cool, because it was just like something I've never experienced, like Under Armour, like going from the 7.5 to the Under Armour, like the second biggest sports company. Like, what? Like, yeah, I was like, I was so focused that year to the point like I didn't even want to have a phone, but I knew I had to have a phone, because like obviously my mom had to get in touch with me. But it was just more so like, yo, like I'm so focused to the point it's just like I don't even want a distraction, if that makes sense, because it seemed like everything was just going in this right path, that I didn't want nothing, you know, no weird energy, no nothing coming in between that. But my experience there was the bomb. I met it's so crazy. I'm never gonna forget this man. I just forgot him. What's the guy? You know what? I don't even want to say this. What's his name? Mr. Kevin Plank's driver, Mr. D. Me and Mr. D. I would never forget him. He seen me looking like, cause at a company like that, it was kind of intimidating. Cause it was just like, you know, at a higher end company, how they make you feel is like, I don't know how to explain without it sounding.
You felt out of place?
A little bit, yeah. Like, I knew I was good, and I'm good, but dealing with people at a higher end company, they just, sometimes it's just like, you're still not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, so Mr. D, I'm never gonna forget him. That's Mr. Kevin Plank's driver. He was very open to me. Like, I spoke with him, I talked to him a lot while I was there. He was a very good person. He's the one that introduced me to Mr. Plank, or whatever, and me and him just got to talking, and he knew my whole background before I even met him, which was so weird.
For real?
Yeah, he was like, "You went to Oak Hill?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You know Brandon?" "Yeah." "How the hell you know?" Like, you know what I'm saying? But he was super.
Wasn't Brandon there? Like,
yeah.
As a...
I was one of their athletes.
Yeah.
He was. But yeah, it was a dope experience. But the only thing was, my class hours were at least 9 hours a day, and they wanted me to work there full time. I just couldn't do both. You know what I'm saying? So instead of that, I would just it was just hard. I couldn't even do Under Armour part time. My class was just so, most people be like, well, you should have worked at Under Armour and just quit school. It's like, no, because I came here first for school. Like, that would last longer than me being, a freelance designer for them. I would rather just get my degree or my baccalaureate, whatever, certificate, and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to experience, but I mean, I enjoyed Michael way too much. And it was just very, like...
Do you still talk to the students there?
No. I was so, like, everybody was in their own lane, if that makes sense. And everybody was so different. And I just... I don't want to say I was very different, if that makes sense. Like, they were them and I was me. Like, in our school, everybody has their own literally lane. Like, it's almost like you can't stare, because it's just like, that's them, you know what I mean? So, and we all were going for the same thing, just trying to, like, become better designers. And I'm just gonna never forget that year. That year was crazy.
So you graduate there, you come back home.
Yeah, I graduated.
What was the plan after you graduated there and left?
I was gonna look for a job in Baltimore. I was getting a lot of jobs from there, but my grandfather had got sick with cancer, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just come home. You know what I'm saying? And then my grandfather was more of my security, so me getting a job right away was like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, whatever, I'll get a job. He used to always be like, you need to get a job. You need to make sure you get a job. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then he started getting sicker and sicker, and I'm like, maybe he was saying this for a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? So eventually I got a job at Old Dominion, part-time assistant graphic designer. It's a cool job.
It was just cool. You was there for a while.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was straight. It just wasn't. It was good for the time being.
Didn't one of your covers get like attention that you made?
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff did. But
you don't want to talk about that?
No, a lot of stuff did. I mean, it's ODU. I don't know what to say. Like, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. What?
So you think they was just holding you back from your full potential?
Of course not. Nah.
So what made you move to Atlanta? What made you just feel like I just want to be an entrepreneur? I don't want to work for nobody. So I feel like ODU made you feel that way, that you was like, I can't work for nobody.
I just realized that because like I have a and it sounds so bad, but I have like a history of like working at jobs and quitting them like within less than 3 hours. So I was just like, yo. And I didn't do that with ODU. I was there for 2 years. It was a good experience. I learned a good amount. Met great people. It was just more so like,
they didn't want to push the envelope and none.
If they can do this, I know I can do this.
And make the money that they make.
Or more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm not too much. This is another thing that got me. Like, this is another thing that got me was, I was only making like, I don't care to say this because I'm damn sure nowhere close to that now, but I was only making like $550 to $600 every 2 weeks. So I'm like, yo, I know my work is like, and this is just leaving Micah. Like, I should not be working at ODU. Like, I don't want to be working. Well,
at least at not that rate, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not that. I just don't want to be working at ODU, period. Like, but I just had no choice at the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thankful for the opportunity, but I was just like, I need to do other things. It's no shade to them. It's just more so like I just needed to move on because I learned a good amount from being there. But you know, sometimes it comes, you know, a year or two you be there and then you leave, especially at those type of positions. So I was like, yo, I was contemplating. I didn't know if I want to take that risk. I never took no risk like that in my life. Mind you, at the time I didn't have that security because by that time my grandfather had passed away. And it was just me, you know what I'm saying? That's all I had to worry about was me and what I had to do to kind of like provide for myself. So, I ended up just putting my 2 weeks notice in. I was applying to jobs and for some reason I wasn't getting no jobs, like none, no jobs. I would get callbacks, but not like a follow, like a finish, like a final and just nothing. So I'm like, yo, like I can do my own thing. Like, and that just kind of pushed me to become an entrepreneur. I didn't have I had a background in entrepreneurship because I used to do t-shirts just to make money in college. But from there, I didn't have no major, like, yo, I want to start my own business. Like, this is strictly what I want to do for full time. So what I did was I put my 2 weeks notice in and then I started my company, Brand Elite, with a little bit of marketing materials to start. And just basically people just kind of like trusting my vision on like, you know.
Why Atlanta? Why not Charlotte?
I felt Atlanta is more, I don't know. And before I even went, it was just more so like, I really don't know why Atlanta. I don't have a specific, hey, I just knew that I possibly knew people out there anyway, a little bit. Not much, not family, but like certain friends and stuff. But other than that, I was just like, I need to get out to 7-5. I cannot, like, I don't really sit still here longer than maybe a year or less than that. So just being here that long was just like, I gotta go. And then one of my family friends, you know, long story short, she was just like, hey, I moved back. I was like, dang, how'd you move back? Because I was so eager to like leave. She was just like, you know, my mom got some houses or whatever. She was a real estate, blah, blah, blah. And you can stay in our basement. I said, basement? Fuck. But at the point, I was so hungry and trying to figure out my business. And mind you, I had started it. It was cool. But moving, you have to take a risk of moving to a whole nother city or state. Mind you, you paying for your rent and you know, it might not be much, but it's something. You know what I'm saying? And you just don't have no guarantees or nothing. So she was like, you know, you can stay here until you get yourself kind of prepared. I'm like, forget it. Might as well. So I just packed my U-Haul up and just dipped and went to Atlanta. Didn't have no guarantees. When I tell you no guarantees, like I didn't know if this was going to work. I could have been coming back to Norfolk after a couple of months, you know what I'm saying, or Virginia Beach in a couple of months. Nothing. So I got down there and I just was so eager to network with people, and I kind of already was working with this guy, Chris Williams. He's the director for Holiday Hoops Giving, and he does a lot of their, like he runs that whole tournament, and I've been doing work for him based out of Atlanta. And from him, seeing my work with him, they just hit me up from there, and it just kind of started trickling to the point now I have like universities. I'm doing work for universities and also work for a lot of grassroots programs, sports, all sports. That's basically what I do, major in all sports programs. And it's just been a real big blessing because I'm able to provide for myself and be an entrepreneur and work for myself, like all of that.
Make your own hours.
Yeah, I don't, you know, yeah, basically. I can't wake up before 10 o'clock, that's hard.
Did you ever get out the basement?
I did. So, the thing about the basement is, that was the year that I was just really like, super late hours, trying to finish work, you know, because I had to gain these customers and clients' trust to the point it was just like, my friend's mom was like, hey, I'm selling a house. I'm like, selling a house? What does that mean? Hold on, what does that mean? Like, I just got here. She was like, I'm selling a house. You got to move out by Friday. August. This is June. Like, mind you, I've never gotten like an apartment on my own. And I'm super real when it comes to me telling my situation because everybody, I'm sure some people like that. Like, it's not all glitz and glamour.
From the bottom.
Yeah, like, I don't really care. But mind you, I never got an apartment on my own. Like, I didn't even know how to do the application. I didn't know nothing. I just knew, okay, you need this amount of money. How does this work? What do I need to get right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? So one of my friends, she helped me get my, like, you know, basically helped me as to show me how to do an application and do all this extra stuff for an apartment. And I just ended up getting an apartment, and I was like, dang, this is real. Like, this is another step. And so now it's just like I'm working out of my house, and these other companies are contracting me to do their graphics work and to send it out to them. And like,
what's some of the schools that you working with?
Norfolk State Athletic Department, Norfolk State Women's Basketball, Men's Basketball, Albany State Women's and Men's in their athletic department, Shaw University. I did a recruiting book for UConn. I'm doing Texas Christian, is that Texas Christian University? TCU? Yeah, TCU. The Frogs.
TCU.
And I think those are all the... And then everybody else is like major grassroots, like tournaments and stuff like that.
Like the AAU scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
And AABL. I do stuff for Team Griffin.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Team Griffin.
It's AAU team?
Yeah, AAU team, Team Griffin. And I also do work for this... Oh, I also do work for Leroy Reynolds. He plays with the... he used to play with the Eagles, but he's going over to another team right now. But I do a lot of his branding and a lot of his like website work and a lot of flyers and different stuff for him and things that he need graphically for his camps and stuff like that he have every year. I do that for him. And then another athlete, he has like a major clothing line coming up. And I'm working with him because the clothing line is not sports, but it's still under an athlete's umbrella, if that makes sense. But he has Brandon Jennings have like a clothing company called Tough Crowd. So I do their website, like just helping them. And basically, I built their website and managing it for them, like helping them out with the website even more. But it's kind of been a really good blessing.
So you love. So could you see yourself working for anybody else in the near future, or you just entrepreneurship?
It's not gonna work out. Tell you that right now, it's not gonna work out. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to like keep progressing and growing.
So what's your plan for Brandon League?
I want to be at least in a couple of years the main company that sports teams and organizations and grassroots come to, and even colleges like assistant coaches and recruits and stuff to come to me for their recruiting graphics to be able to send to the recruits, for their flyers and posters and things digitally that you want to shoot out for teams and your groups and
like for social media
viewers and social media. Yeah. I wanted to be able to grow where I add about 3 more people, you know what I'm saying, to the company in Atlanta. Like I want it to be personal, you know what I'm saying? Are
you gonna hire? Do you feel like you're gonna hire some people?
Yeah, it's getting to that point now. I'm just taking my time. Yeah.
My problem is that when I ask somebody to do something for me, they don't got the same passion I got for it.
Yeah,
or the same vision, and then it just
throws you all off.
Yeah.
So I think I've learned that you have to kind of like train them and see their work before
progress.
Yeah, progress or before, because if it's even something similar, like I done met designers where their work is similar or I thought was good, so, you know, very good. I would hire them. You know what I mean? But it's more so like it's more than just that. I think it's more so like you got to worry about the person, not just their work. Their work can be good, but they can have a horrible attitude or not passionate about what they're doing or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? That you may not want in your type of work environment or your type of area. You know what I mean? So it's just it's a very hard process, but you got to kind of like, I don't know, like just be very particular. It's almost like you don't want to let everybody in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Because you created, like, Brandon Lee is like my baby. So it's like, it's hard for me to, it's a lot of people that reach out that want to like intern or work. It's just like, okay, cool. Like I contract 2 guys out now. One is an illustrator and then another one is a graphics. But I use the illustrator more than I use the graphics person because it's not really that heavy. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's more so like, oh yeah, sorry, random. I love Made Hoops. Yeah. I do stuff for them too. I forgot about them. But that was side note. But yeah, hiring is very I don't know. I see why now they take so long to do interviews, because you got to really see who that person is. Like that person can be a cold-hearted whatever, and in the interview they're like an angel. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a balance, I guess. You gotta kind of like figure out.